Shalom, this is your brother Samad coming to you with another lesson, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, and double honor to our elders and apostles of GMS, and peace and blessings to the sincere Akim and the Akwaf and those that are of the house of the elect. Today's lesson, I want to talk about how you have to become your own man or your own person in this truth. You can't be a copy of someone else and expect greatness. Right? So, what does it mean, to be your own man, right? And I'm speaking to you brothers specifically here because you're the ones who are the faces of the nation, if you will, right? You're the brothers that's on the line. You know, you brothers are teaching, right? You're building yourselves up to be shepherds of men. All right. Now, what does it mean to be your own man? All right. What it means is to be authentic and genuine to who you are, right? And cultivate yourself in your own image. All right. Now, we take inspiration from other men, right, before us. You know, elder brothers, apostles, right? We take inspiration from them. We may like certain characteristics and traits about them that we may want to emulate, right, or imitate. But at the same time, we're not going to be carbon copies of them. Right? You can't expect to speak the same way as another man. You can't expect to break down scriptures the same way as another man. Now, certain things that you can imitate are character traits. Now, for example, if you see, let's say there's an elder brother in your camp, and he is very stoic, and what that means is he's very emotionally intelligent, right? That's a modern way of saying stoic, right? Emotional intelligence. So basically, you have a brother who is very in control of his emotions, right? You never see the brother lash out. You never see the brother complain. He always has an optimistic mindset towards situations, right? And he genuinely is hopeful for the best, right? And it shows in his speech and his demeanor, right? That's a stoic, right? A brother who is stoic. You may imitate that, right? You want to be like him in that regard, and that's cool. You should want to be a stoic. There could be even little small things that you may do, like maybe a brother, maybe there's a certain way that he poses questions in order to open people's minds to, receiving information. Certain things like that you can imitate. But generally, overall, gifts, personality, speech, those things, you have to be authentic. You have to figure out what you are. All right. If a brother's lot is prophecy and it's not in your spirit, you just don't have that natural keen towards prophecy, but you're just really good at spiritual power or whatever, or the kingdom, well, maybe you should focus on your strengths, and you still work on your weak points like prophecy or breakdowns or certain things like that. But don't try to make that your persona, because you'll never be able to mold into your greatness. You have to. The Most High gave. Scripture said the Most High gives every man his lot or his measure, and you lose when you compare yourself among another man. Oh, his faith is like this. He does this. His measure is this. He does 20 videos. I only do 10. But guess what? If 10 for you, if you do 10 quality videos and you put your all into those lessons and you generally try to be edifying, well, guess what? That's what matters. A brother may have more time and he may just have more information, so he can do 20 lessons. You're not there yet. And maybe you might not be there ever. But guess what? You should always seek to do better and to do more, but always keep that balance and understand that you are who you are, and figure out what your balance is. Every brother's balance is different. You got some brothers who don't have jobs, man, so they can pump out 3 lessons a day. I would hope that they're pumping out a lesson or 2 a day if you don't got brothers like myself. I work 45 plus every week. So, I'm doing 12-hour days. I'm really doing 48 plus. I'm doing 12-hour days, 4 or 5 days a week. The only time I don't do a 5th day really is if I got something I gotta do. You know what I mean? I take off a day. But it's just my lot. It's just the type of field I'm in. The type of responsibilities I have. Unfortunately, I gotta put that time in. Now, behind the scenes, working on ways to be able to work less and still handle my, make the same amount of money but work less. But that's neither here nor there. But that's what I mean. Like, that's my balance, and that's my lot currently. Now I'm praying to the Father and working on. Again, like I said, behind the scenes, working on, basically building my portfolio of my credentials so that I can essentially make more money per hour so I can work less hours and make up the same amount of money. Because the amount of money I make now, I'm perfectly content with, because I have my daily bread, I handle my responsibilities. I'm not necessarily living check to check, but I can't afford to go 2 weeks without pay, 3 weeks without pay. It's gonna look a little scarce, but that's beautiful though. That's my daily bread. I have a little extra after paying my bills to save, or to pay off little debts, or to just whatever. So I'm working on that so that I can work less hours, so that I can have more time to dedicate towards my craft, which is essentially myself. All right, doing more lessons, studying more, being more in the spirit, maybe even going out a 3rd day of the week, because I do about 2 days a week. And maybe being able to put a 3rd day in there consecutively, because sometimes I'll do it a 3rd, but it's a struggle sometimes, man. So that's just another thing. Like, imagine if I looked at another man that I see him doing 2 lessons a day, hour lesson here, 45-minute lesson here. There's brothers that go out 4 or 5 days a week and still do their sit downs, and it's a lot, man. It's a lot, bro. If I tried to imitate that right now, bro, I would burn out 100%. Just being completely transparent, I would burn out, because what? I don't have the time or energy for that. So I have to be smarter with my time. So I have to pump out quality, or do my best to pump out quality rather than quantity, but at least try to do something daily, for the Lord. That's the goal. Something daily. Work on yourself, whether it's in the scriptures, whether it's studying a specific topic, whether it's doing a lesson, and even these lessons, right, these shows, this might be a 15-minute lesson, 20-minute lesson, 10-minute lesson. It doesn't really, and then I do a lot of lessons in transit, because again, like I said, I have so much going on, and I notice my creative juices work a little better when I'm on the move. Every brother is different. This further proves my point. All right, you got some brothers who are really good at sitting down for 2-3 hours, putting a lesson on the TV or whatever, and just watching the lesson. And it's really nothing to it. There's no visuals. There's, and they can do that and take notes. Me personally, I'm not that guy. It depends on the topic. If I'm going to something deep, like a deep breakdown or a deep history lesson, and it's showing timelines and it's showing a map, that's the type of stuff I can sit down and watch and take notes. But in general, for most things, that's not the case for me. I will literally, my mind will just go astray, because that's just who I am. I work better on the move. Me personally as well, I'm not a type of brother that can stay in the house and be productive. I move better when I am out and about. So I'm the type of guy that will go to a little cafe or coffee shop, because that's my thing. But when I'm in that environment of a coffee shop, headphones in, laptop, I'm a little, sipping on a little bit of coffee or some tea, I'm in a position to where I can sit there for 2-3 hours and study. That's me. If I'm in a house, man, I don't know what it is about the house. The house for me is a place of comfort and peace. So I can't really grow in a house. That's why, working out from home is a struggle for me. If I had to work from home, it would be a struggle for me. Even if I had a designated room for work, it would be a struggle for me. I would have to take my work outside of home, or have to split it up, 2 hours at home, maybe go to a little coffee shop for 2-3 hours, or I would have to have I have a detached garage in my house. I would have to make an office in my garage, and maybe that would kind of change things. But again, that's me. But a brother like yourself, you may not fall into that. You may not be able to do that, but you may want to emulate a man like that. You may want to see it, bro. Oh, this brother, because there's a brother in my camp, right? Parathum. He's one of those type of brothers that I made. He can sit down for 2-3 hours, throw a lesson on, 2 lessons on, hour-long Johns with just talking and no visuals, and he can sit there and notes. He has that type of attention span. I don't. You know what I mean? If I tried to emulate that, it wouldn't benefit me. It would be a waste of time, because I may sit there and then my mind starts wandering, and I start getting drowsy. That's just how I am. So I get a lot of my lessons in, listening. I'm a really good listener. So I'm good at multitasking-ish. So I can watch a lesson and clean perfectly well, and I'll retain very well. I can drive and listen very well. You know what I mean? So, and I like being on the go. I like being, I don't like being in the mix, but I like being on the go because it keeps me busy, which I'm the type of brother, again, that if I'm sitting around, my mind wanders. So you have to be your own man. You have to be, you have to find your lot, your balance. All right. And don't imitate another man, because you will not succeed. Again, you take inspiration from greater men than ourselves, or elder men than ourselves, but that's about it. And you don't want to be a parrot in this truth. When you first come into the truth, you're naturally a parrot. It's natural. But as time goes on, you learn more, and you really start to understand the words that you speak. You start to be able to break things down in your own terms, in your own way. Because there's more than one way to break down scripture. You can watch two different brothers break down, I don't know, Daniel 7. Or let's say you have 2 different brothers break down 2nd Ezra 13 or 2nd Ezra 15, and going into Jacob's trouble, right, in times. One brother may break it down to the point where you might be like, okay, but then another brother may break it down to a way where it really resonates with your spirit. Right? That's the beauty of the body, right? No 2 members are exactly the same, but one's not more important than the other. They all work together. Where one lacks, the other pick up for it. Right? So you have to find your position in the body and make sure that you are performing at your best at that, whatever that position is. Right? We got, again, my camp, we have the elder brother Shalawami, who is very eloquent. He's a great speaker. He breaks things down very clearly, and he's a history buff. That's his thing, correlating history with the scriptures. Myself, I'm a great support to that speaking role, and just providing insight and a very unbiased and balanced perspective to most things, right? I would like to say I'm very balanced across the board, right? I'm a jack of all trades, but not really a master of none, which is not necessarily a good thing, but that's just my position in the truth, and that is what it is. If anything I excel at is probably self-growth and motivation and exhortation, if anything. And then you got the brother Parathum and Kama. They are concordants. They are very good at knowing scriptures, knowing where scriptures are, and how to correlate scriptures together. All right, and that's how the body works. But they're not the most eloquent speakers, nor do they try to assert themselves to be so. They play their role when they speak, and when it makes sense. But they don't try to assert themselves to be the lead speaker because it's not their lot, and they know it's not their lot. And they know what their lot is, and their lot is very crucial to the camp. All right, because they are the biggest support to the lead speaker himself. So that's the most important thing in this troop. All right, finding your position, taking righteous pride in that. Right, so basically being happy and content with your role, and then doing your best to build and perfect that role. All right, daily growth. All right, so Lord willing, that's pretty much it. That's the point. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to your sincere Akim. All right, you sisters out there listening, once again, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Till next time, Shalom.